Hey, how's everybody doing today? I wanted to talk about something that's kind of been on my heart lately and on my mind. And I also want to say this up front that I'm not talking about anyone else's social media, anyone else's channel, anything like that. It has nothing to do with that. I'm not knocking anybody for what they do, how they do it, or why they do it. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. So I don't want anyone to take it that way. I'm only talking about myself, my experience, and my experience on social media with YouTube and also Instagram, and kind of the reason why I move the way I move and do the things that I do. I was born with atopic dermatitis, and at 5 years old, that's when I end up being actually diagnosed as having atopic dermatitis. And I'm not going to get into what it is. You can look it up, you can Google it or whatever. The best way I can describe it, a lot of people know what eczema is. It's a more severe version of eczema. And so being in school and everything like that, I would get talked about, I would get picked on, I would get bullied because of how I look, because of how my skin, something I had absolutely no control over. And it made me feel bad. It made me feel awful. And so I remember this one incident, and let me kind of go back. I was born in 1969. There was no social media, there was no internet. So the only people that you seen or socialized with is people that was right in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Like whoever you was actually surrounded with, those are the people you know. If there was somewhere else, you had no access to getting to them unless you traveled. Unlike it is today, you could just hop on your phone and talk to someone in a different country, a different city, a different town, or whatever. So saying that, what I'm trying to say is that I never met anyone like me having atopic dermatitis. So it made me really feel like I was the only one. Even though my doctor, my dermatologist was like, oh no, I have other patients who have, the same thing. But I never met those other patients. So in my world, I was the only one who had atopic dermatitis. I was the only one who was experiencing being bullied because of that and different things like that. And so I remember one time I was at a restaurant with my mom, and it was like a buffet style restaurant, and I was fully in an outbreak. And so some people was like looking at me like, and kind of like avoiding me as if I was contagious, which everyone know atopic dermatitis or eczema is not contagious. But that's how they was like looking at me and treating me. And so I'm like with my head down, not looking at anyone because I felt bad. Then I happened to look up, and this woman was looking at me, and she had, like with me, with my dermatitis, when it breaks out, it's pigment, so it's darker than the rest of my skin. So depending on where I'm breaking out at, it's going to be darker. The skin texture is going to be totally different than my normal skin texture. And so with her, I looked up and I seen her, and she was staring at me. But with her, I didn't know it at the time, but she had like white spots, so I'm assuming she had vitiligo. But she looked at me and she smiled. We never said anything to each other. I don't know. Didn't know her. Don't know her. But she just looked at me and smiled. And in that little moment, that quick incident, it just made me feel good, because it's like she understood. Even though we had two different things going on with our skin, she truly understood what I was going through in that moment. And that smile that she gave me made me feel so much better in that instant. And so that's why when I started my YouTube channel, I never came on trying to hide how I look, even though I know people can be mean, cruel, or whatever. When I started my YouTube channel, you could see my skin texture, my skin color is darker because I was like having an outbreak then. And I still got on the camera and everything like that, because even though I might not see the person, somebody might see me and look and feel like, oh, okay, she's going through something different, but she's willing to put herself out there. It's almost like me looking at them, giving them that smile, like, don't, everything's fine, you're okay, you're normal, And so that's why I don't, like I said, I'm not trying to knock anyone It's not about that. But that's why when I come on, I don't use filters. That's why when I come on, I will show, I have acne scars. If I have a pimple, I will still come on with a pimple. I'm not making any excuses. Oh, I got a pimple. I'm not doing any of that, because real life is not about that. And I know how it feels to be talked about. I know how it feels and in my face. Like I said, I grew up in a time where there was no social media. So when a person had something to say about you, they said it to your face. When a person didn't like how you look, you seen the expression on their face, because or if they just didn't like you, period, you knew it because of their body language and all that, because everything was right there in front of you. And I know social media is a little different, because a person can hide who they are, why they're being mean to you. At least back then, the people who was being mean to you had enough courage to do it to you in your face, because that's the only way they can do it, really. And that gave, at least that gave you an opportunity to respond back to them, ignore them, or whatever. But I know a lot of times people just being themselves come on social media, and people just so mean and just want to be cruel to them and everything like that. So it's like, I made the decision when I first, even though I'm an introvert, and I have insecurities, and I don't feel comfortable sometimes being in front of the camera. Even with all that, I was willing to say, okay, I'm gonna let girls know that you don't have, it's no such thing as being perfect, and you don't have to be perfect to be okay. You're fine the way you are. Just be the best person that you can be. Have a good heart, and try to treat everybody the way that you want to be treated. And so that's why I do that. It's like I have bags under my eyes, and I don't care. I would get on the camera, and it's like, it's like, you're okay. It's okay. You don't have to, because when you walk through real life, you're not going to walk through life with a filter. So however you see me on this camera, if you run into me in real life, that's how you're going to see me. Of course, if I take a picture, I'm going to try to take the best picture. I'm not going to, sit there and just post the heart. Everyone wants to put forth their best face, but like I said, I just want to be that smile, that smile that I got when I was a little girl, and I knew how that made me feel. Because even though a person, everyone wasn't mean to me, that would be a lie if I said that. There was people that was nice to me, but they wasn't, it's like they looked at normal. But when I seen her, and she's out there, and she has vitiligo, and she's smiling at me, it's like she understood what I was going through. And so, like I said, I just wanted to be that smile. I just wanted to let other girls, young girls who may have issues with their skin, with breaking out, with having, like I said, I have acne scars all over. I don't wear makeup. Not knocking anyone who do wear makeup, like I said, because this is not what this this is not about that. Like I said, I'm not doing, whatever you do on your channel, that's your business. But like I say, what I'm saying, I'm not saying it to knock anyone or be mean to anyone. Like I say, I just want to come over here and be myself, to let people know that it's okay. You're okay. Don't let anyone make you feel like you're less than. You're fine. And like I said, it's just mean people in the world. Mean people has nothing to do with you. It's their character. It's not yours. And I just, like I said, I just want to be that smile that I got when I was young. And I know how that felt. I know how that made me feel. And I just wanted to be that smile to anyone who come across my channel who may have felt like I'm not perfect, so I can't, they may have wanted to take certain pictures. They may have wanted to post certain pictures, but they didn't, because they felt like, oh, someone's going to say something about it, or I'm not going to get any likes or anything like that, because I don't look like this person, that person, or other person. And that's another thing. I just want to say this real quick, and then I'm going to get off. Never look at someone else and envy them. Never say, I want to be that person, because you do not know what that person is going through. And the price to be that person may be so high that you cannot afford to pay it. You may not be able to handle what they're going through in their life in order to be who they are. Be happy with yourself. Be the best you can be. always strive to be better than you were before. Always strive to be the best you that you can be. But like I said, never look at someone else and say, oh, I want to be them, because you really never know what a person is going through in their mind. You never know what a person is going through in their heart. You never know what a person is going through in their life. You can sit and say, oh, that's nice what they got. Oh, I'm going to work towards that. But don't be envy of other people. Don't be jealous of other people, and don't be hating on other people. People want basically the same thing: to be seen, to be loved, to be respected. And if you're not gonna be that for someone else, leave them alone. If you don't have anything nice to say to them, that's all I want to say. Peace.